How's training been so far?
Training has been very good. We started very well. We have a full house of players. Attendance has been 100%. Quite excited for this season, and we hope we can keep the same momentum leading up to Safari Sevens and Dubai in the 1st of December.
Last season you told me several times that how important it was to start pre-season early. Just tell me, is this early enough for you? Is this good enough?
We had a plan to start 1st of July. We didn't manage to start 1st of July. Of course, there were a couple of hiccups, but we're quite happy that we have started 6 weeks late, but at least within the window where we more or less can predetermine our performance. For last season, we had a very short prep period, and this season at least we have a couple of months to prepare, which is good. And also we have the luxury of having the sevens to test some players.
Okay. Have you dropped anyone? Have you called up anyone? Are there injuries?
We ideally starting with a squad of 12 who also have to play the local circuit, and we still have to pick 28 more from the circuit. Then from then we will narrow down the final squad for the season.
Yeah. Expanded bench. You have an assistant now. I kept asking you about that last season. You have an assistant now. You have an SNC. Last season Ian left. So expanded technical bench. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's quite relieving. It was a bit lonely, but feels quite good to have a full complement of management. We had our skills sessions in the morning. Then now we are going a bit to the conditioning session. So for us, it feels very good, as in from where I sit in terms of now the management and being able to push the different areas, especially on conditioning and skills. Yeah.
Okay, Coach, you came in as one of the best players of your generation, but experience as a coach didn't have any, and everyone was like, wow, how, why? But now you've had a season, baptism by fire, so to speak. How's it been? What are the lessons you picked in the circuit?
I started coaching at Impala, so it wasn't my first year to coach. Maybe it was the first year to coach a national team, and there's always a first for everyone in terms of coaching. Of course, there are a lot of lessons that we have learned, a lot of good things that happened. Also, we exposed a young squad that played very well. I think the only statistic from us that we fell short, as compared to the other years, was the tries scored. So for us, I think we'll try and see how can we get our tries up there. We're quite happy with the way we are playing. Our expansive game and attacking space is king for us. We are creating more opportunities. So for us, as we go to the next season, the key thing will be, can we put the foundation right? Can we get the foundation right, being the conditioning and the skills part, so that at least our plans in terms of tactics can sit on a good foundation. And we're quite excited for this season because we've started very well. The players are up to beat, training well, and we're hoping things will be very good. Yeah, we're very excited.
Thank you. Welfare of the players, contract, health insurance, all that stuff. Has it been sorted out? Has it been sorted out?
Yeah. So the luxury of also starting early is that we want to sort out all those things now. In terms of contracts, they've been issued to the players, so it's just an issue of signing. In terms of the terms of the contract, they are better than last year. What I can assure you for sure. It's been a lot of negotiations in the back. In terms of benefits, yeah, things like health insurance are there, allowances are there. So we basically improved what we are offering the players. I think this would be the best we've ever offered our players in terms of package, and it's because of the year that is coming up. If you look at next year, we have 12 tournaments, which are very key. We have the World Cup and Commonwealth inside there, and in totality, we are looking at around 15 to 16 tournaments that we are going to play. So in terms of commitment from the players, will require 100% commitment. That's why we also compensating them well and trying to make the package a bit better.
Okay. From just the 5 or so minutes I've seen them inside there, they look very happy. So what do you have to say about the morale? What have you done? What have you done this season? People seem to be very happy.
Not done anything. I think we just had the luxury of starting early, and according to plan. Okay, not exactly according to plan, but at least early, and we had planned well. We did a lot of firefighting last year, but this year the luxury of doing things early puts everyone on this right framework. We've done our medical tests, assessments, psychological assessments, and physical assessments, and we know where they sit. And we have given them developmental plans on how they can develop as players leading up to the circuit. It's not about us as coaches, it's always about the players. So we want them to improve as individuals, and they will definitely play better when they improve.
The national circuit, aside of in Driftwood, go all the way to Dala, I think, end of October. Is it, on paper, it's meant to help you pick a team, but having your players go play there, is it a 50-50, like when you get injured? So is it a help, is it a hindrance? How do you look at it?
No, it is a help, but for us, there are two things we have to balance. We want all the players to play, and we want to select from the players. We have a selection committee of 5 who are selecting. We already started the selection from the previous tournament. We are ideally supposed to come up with 40 players. So we are supposed to pick 28 more players who will now complement these ones. Then we will reduce to 30 from there. Of course, the key thing for us is that even them have to play a minimum of 2 tournaments. The only head start they get is because of there's a certain level of conditioning and skills that we require. And for us to achieve that, we have to start with like a selected few to get them there. And also try and balance that with the realities of the selection being done objectively, and that they have to be selected from the circuit. So they have a small head start, yes, but it is not a surety that they will be in the final. They are currently on probation. So they have to still prove themselves. Yeah.
Okay, last season you talked about 10 points from every leg. This season, for the series, what's your goal? For the World Cup, what's your goal? For the Commonwealth, what's your goal?
I think for us, the process for goal setting, we are doing it right now. So as we finalize, because remember the goals have to come from bottom up. So we're giving the players this week to do the goal settings. So, and this starts from an individual perspective, then comes to the team goals. So once we have agreed on what are our targets, then of course we will now of course communicate and be able to try and achieve them. Yeah.
Finally, coach, going into your second season at the top level, how do you feel about it? Or rather, what's your message to the doubting Thomases?
There'll always be doubting Thomases. It's life. I don't think we will ever be in a situation where everyone will support you 100%. There will be always those who think that maybe the things would have been done differently, or those who think that things are on the right track. So for us, the key thing is, are we improving the players? Are we playing better? Is our game? Are we developing our game further? And is it? And are we winning? Yeah. So for us, we are very key. For us, we're very keen on getting the system going, trying to achieve our targets. Of course, there are expectations of Kenyans, and we have to respect those expectations. They might be very high, because I know all Kenyans expect you to win all the tournaments from the first one to the World Cup. Of course, it happens, well and good. If it doesn't happen, we have our targets, and if we manage to achieve our targets, we will be satisfied.
What are your targets?
Personally, I think my targets are the team targets, which we mine is just simple. I think the biggest thing that I want to achieve is just to improve the player, the Kenya rugby player, in terms of how they play and how they live their lives after. I know there have been a couple of issues where we find a player, when he's dropped, he really drops very low in terms of life. If we can improve that aspect so that they end up contributing to the Kenya Sevens purpose, then it will be very good. So for me, my key thing is the player, changing the culture of the Sevens team, and creating a purpose for Kenya Sevens. I think if I achieve that, then I'm home. Yeah.
Curious about what changing culture means.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Of course, the culture is just how we operate, how we behave as Kenya Sevens players, how we interact with the society and within. We have to change that culture a bit, and also the purpose of Kenya Sevens, which more or less touches on that. Who are we and why are we as Kenya Sevens? I think once we get that clarity, then there's sustainability in being able to put the right structures and even the goal setting for the national team. Yeah. Kim has started very well. He hit the ground running. I think for him it's familiar grounds, and we are quite happy that he came back on board and accepted to come back to help the team. We are on the process of buying new equipment. Actually, yesterday we were repairing the gym weights. We have brought new orders of more equipment in terms of gym. And even if you see there's still more equipment which we've tried to have on board. Of course, these things help to support in terms of now the preparation, and hopefully by the time we get to the Dubai, we'll be ready to play.
Okay, last question. William Webster, what does he bring on the table?
Will is quite good in terms of analysis and skills, which is really helps us a lot and relieves a lot of pressure in terms of now helping me to focus more on the tactical plans. He's very particular and very good actually on the skills and the analysis side. Yeah.
With the Kenya Rugby Union having kept the faith in head coach Innocent Simiyu and his charges will have to repay the trust by delivering good results in a tough season that will see the team play in the Rugby World Cup, the Commonwealth Games, as well as the World Series. Warote Kiru, NTV, at the RFUA grounds.